starting just like that.
Yes, Wilson.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that niggas that fuck with their socks off are weird and most likely creeps. I think all women should beware.
All right. Well, that's the topic for today.
Thoughts?
I'm Brandon Killabh.
I'm Erin Ashley Simon.
And we got Yo Whip with us.
And Wilson.
And Wilson. So, and obviously for the listeners that were privy to the last episode, that is in fact Wilson again with his thoughts. So let's just dive in. Pause.
Come on, stop avoiding it. Niggas want to know if you're wearing socks, Brandon.
I'm not wearing socks though. First
During
off,
sex?
First off,
You
no,
take
I'm
them
not.
off?
First off, I'm not wearing socks because I'm with my bae. I'm comfortable. I don't need to have socks on. Second of all, I feel like smashing in socks is weird because after you smash in socks, your socks are really turned around or weird. That they're not on properly. It's just too much. I'm not doing that. Like, it's a lot.
I don't think that my socks have ever turned around during sex.
Yes, you have. Then you don't have the proper footing.
Yo, he
Maybe
wears
you don't have
hospital
the proper
socks.
socks.
you wear hospital socks?
He wears hospital socks, the ones that got the footing at the bottom.
You got the grip. Dry fit.
So he makes sure you don't slide across that wooden floor and shit. He's like, wait, let me get my grip.
It's the proper footwear for sex, man. If you're playing ball, you put on sneakers. You're building a house, you put on Timbs.
And when you're smashing, you're wearing socks.
Dry
Absolutely.
fit?
Do you wear dry fit socks?
I feel as from a woman's perspective, the first thing that I'll think of is if a guy is wearing socks, and I'm seeing that he wears socks on multiple occasions, especially during sex, that means you got some crusty ass feet, probably.
That's not true.
And that is a turnoff. That is a complete turnoff. Because like, if your feet aren't that bad, you're gonna take your socks off and stuff. And trust me, I look at the feet. I can't be having no crusty feet in my bed.
You know what? Okay. Let me ask you this. You see a man at the store in a pair of sandals. You don't feel some type of way like it's a little uncomfortable. Men's feet should not be out.
What?
It's just, unless a nigga's getting out the shower, you should never see a man's feet.
So why are you judging people so hard?
So wait, hold on.
Because he's wearing sandals?
What, I got a bigger
You don't
question.
think it's weird seeing man's feet?
I'm not going to listen to the guy who doesn't wear shorts in the summertime.
It's inappropriate. It's inappropriate. Is all I'm saying.
The
Wait, hold on. I got a bigger question. My nigga, what do you wear to the beach?
guy in the pool.
That's different. That's different.
He's like, let me dunk my
At the
toes in,
beach-
and you see like a big tip go into the water.
At the beach, that's fine.
He swirls his Yeezy boot around in the fucking ocean and then dips out. Like, yo, that's refreshing.
It's too cold. It's too cold.
Oh my God. Damn.
At the beach is fine. Anything involving water is fine.
So you give us a list of your locations.
Wilson's locations.
Wilson's locations of when it's okay for a man to have his toes out.
Any place where there's a body of water.
What if the store's near a beach?
I would need proof that nigga was coming from the beach. And he's not just leisurely walking around with his fucking feet out.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
Nas, what are your thoughts?
I've even had girls say like they feel uncomfortable when a man just has his feet out.
The girls that you are dating are serial killers. That you should never have to worry about your feet being out and then women judging you unless your feet are ugly.
Oh,
Well, I
did
don't
you?
know. Whip.
I don't know, man. I mean, I take my socks off.
You can tell Nas has nasty feet. So
Chill. Hold on. First of all, time out. You're not gonna come for my feet like that, bro.
I'm just saying.
I have my feet are above average. Right? They're not great.
You got hammer time.
Chill.
Look at yourself.
No corns, no bunions, no dead nails.
Nas
Yeah.
is the kind of guy who likes those women with 1 feet.
Yo, word.
One
word.
feet.
1 foot.
One foot.
So let me
Get out
ask
of here. Get out of here.
you. So
Eye patch.
quick question. So Nas, you also have sex with your socks off.
Yeah.
So in bed, you let your women just caress your feet.
First of all, I'm married. One lady.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait. And second, well, I mean, it's fine. We'll keep the secret. Listen, but on top of that, you've never gotten a foot massage from a woman?
With my socks on, absolutely. the only appropriate way for a man to get a foot massage.
What?
Otherwise, it's too feminine.
What?
It's too feminine.
All right,
man.
so now I got a bigger question.
Yeah.
Do you get manicures or pedicures?
No,
He's a man's man.
that's not common.
Crusty feet.
What's not common?
Manicures and pedicures for a man is not common. It's not common. I'm not saying it's not okay. I'm just saying it's not common.
Am I the only person that thinks that is a crazy?
I think you're the only nigga in here getting manicures and pedicures.
I've
gotten them before.
On the reg?
Huh?
On the reg?
Shut the fuck up.
Not on the reg.
When was the last time that you had one?
Shut the fuck up.
Come on.
When's the last time you had one, Nas?
A few years ago.
Doesn't count. Doesn't count.
But no,
Brandon,
I'm
when's the
not
last time you had one?
Last week, nigga, I stay fresh.
Wait, but
Well, you can say anything
niggas
to
ain't in
Brandon.
the same boat.
You can say anything to Brandon, and he'll say like yesterday, last week.
My nail game
But-
is proper.
First of all, there's nothing wrong with a man getting his feet fixed up and his hands fixed up. It's not like they're getting pink nail polish colored on it. It's
just
just
said it's
getting them
uncommon.
fixed. I would prefer a guy to get that shit fixed now and then than to be, coming out here with them claws. Because there's certain men that their toenails are bigger than their pinky toe.
Well, since we're on the topic of manscaping, you niggas aren't shaving your pubes, are you? Nas, you shave your pubes?
What's wrong with that?
Oh, yeah. I shave my underarms.
I'm looking at him like a Martian.
Like, what's wrong
You
with
shave
that?
your pubes?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Like all the way? Are you giving yourself like a landing strip?
Why?
What's going on
Why
here?
does it?
What exactly? Giving yourself a nice little fade?
High top.
You shave your pubes?
Yo, why is all the questions directed towards me though?
Well,
a good
you
question.
had a menacing laugh that
He has
You
a gun
do.
you. I'm
Brandon.
all for proper grooming, my nigga. I shave everything.
If you expect your
I'm
ladies to
clean.
do it, you should do it.
Yeah, like I don't understand the disconnect.
But in my head, when I have
would
sex,
never
I'm like
shave
on a
that
porn
area.
set.
Unless like I'm getting like a tattoo down
So you
there or
got that
something. That's the only
70s porn pube.
And
No.
why would you be getting a
way.
tattoo down?
It's actually I groom it. I don't just shave it all the way off.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about grooming. I'm not saying shaving it off. I'm saying just grooming, just proper grooming.
Yeah, I keep it trim.
So
It's nice. It's not shaved all. You niggas are getting Brazilians.
no one's getting Brazilian.
Nas, you
Well,
get a Brazilian?
I'm not getting a Brazilian. I don't know about Nas.
Nas,
He's got a Brazilian.
don't leave us in suspense. You did.
He's got a taper.
I can't even answer these questions.
Oh,
You
man.
did?
Listen,
Huh?
I gotta.
Yeah, but in my head, when I have sex, I'm like on a porn set, so that's why I'm smooth.
You really got a Brazilian.
No, I never gotten a Brazilian.
He definitely,
Okay,
has
okay.
he definitely has a Brazilian if he thinks he's on a porn set.
Erin, would you respect a man that got a Brazilian?
Like what? Like the strip?
I'm talking. I don't even know what happens during the Brazilian, honestly.
He just said
I just know it's hair removal of everything, right?
I mean, I've definitely hooked up with guys that had that area clean, but I don't see any problem with it. Like,
If
I'd
you-
rather have your. I just want your shit not stinking. Like, I want you to be clean. There's a difference between being clean and having a man who is very feminine. There's a difference in terms of like the way that you take care of yourself. That's what I'm saying. Like, if a guy gets his toes like fixed up and gets his feet like take the callus out and everything, I'm cool with that because I don't like dirty ass feet. Like if a dude comes into my apartment with some crusty ass feet, I will tell him to put his shoes on. I got wooden floors. I can clean it later. Put your shoes back on. Like
not even just the socks. He's gonna put the whole shoe back on.
yeah, because the smell. If it's smelly, it gonna seep through them socks too. You gotta put them shoes back
Yeah,
on.
if his feet stink, it's over for everything.
Like I'd rather a guy be clean. Like, and I'm not saying clean like as in like take every body hair off possible. Make sure you have them clear nail polish. Like, no, not like that. But just together.
Yeah,
I think what happens is certain men look at hygiene as something that they feel like, oh, that's gonna make them look feminine, but it's not. Good hygiene is a universal thing, and it's important.
That's some sucker shit. I'm very big into hygiene. I'm very self-conscious about the way I smell, if I have something in my teeth, anything, because it's a turn off for me. If I'm speaking to someone and you have a piece of grit right here just chilling and you just, hey, what up? I'm like, man, that shit is distracted, my nigga. Like, go do something. It's the same way when you smell someone. It's a distracting thing to try to engage with someone when shit is off. So for me, I'm just like, nah. So I'm always on top of my shit. That's why I just found that interesting. I just have so many questions.
You ever been with a
just
chick and her
judging,
weave
bro.
stinks?
What?
That shit is fucking disgusting.
What? Y'all grown.
I can't. I definitely can't answer that question.
Yeah,
Y'all grown.
I don't think I have, no.
Stinky
Why are
ass
you with
weaves.
women and their weaves stinking?
Wait, you got your hair, your nose all in it?
I can't
like,
control that.
Hold on. So you judge somebody for having a Metro PCS phone, but you rock out with them with a stinky weave?
Does she have a fatty?
No age on the cakes.
Because
I was about to say, we've
that kinda
already
trumps everything.
established.
That changes everything.
Yeah, we've already established
Yeah.
his standards.
This dude
here.
said he would bang an 8-year-old woman.
Yeah.
So we already know where that's
Listen,
at.
she had
80
the-
was an exaggeration,
She had the cake.
but
But you said if she has the cakes, though.
You said it-
You
We
talking
did
si-
say that.
I say cakes like Cherokee Diaz.
Those are huge cakes.
A body like Cherokee Diaz,
Do you really?
80?
I, honestly, and this is gonna sound crazy. I don't really care.
go for it.
Go.
I feel like with when women have asses that big, what's the point? Really think about it.
Elaborate, because I could come up with a million points.
Of course, you can come up with points sexually, but what I'm saying is, just because I know, I just think differently.
Is she wiping properly?
That's what I think about. I think
course
about
she
shit
is.
like that. I think
Is
about
she?
like.
Of course.
It's a lot of cheek.
How do you know though?
I messed with a
That's
girl
a-
with an extreme ass, and that shit is fucking clean as fuck.
She
How
used
do you
one of
know?
those scrunchies that have the
I've
handles.
Been all up in it. I've been hands on.
She has that big ass scrunchy handle with the wooden handle and just gets right in there.
This is a pipe cleaner.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just think about shit like that.
But what do you
I'm a
mean?
gem-
What's the point? The point is to see it shake.
Obviously, but what I'm saying is I think about just other shit. Like I think about, I'm weird, so I know this could be weird. I think about as a woman gets older, you start to lose your shape. That's a lot of upkeep.
And it's just
It's a
gonna
lot
get
of upkeep.
bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
It's
like
a lot of fake stuff too that's added.
and that's my point. I'm not
shit.
talking about the real women of the world that are not saying real women, but I mean like women that don't have any work done. I'm saying just strictly women that have work done and get humongous asses.
Let me ask you this: you've never seen a sexy, thick old chick?
It depends. What it define old?
Let's say 60.
No,
All right.
Never.
no. Name. Well, all right. Pam Grier.
How old is Angela Bassett?
She's
She's
Mid-
gotta be like
50s?
60.
But I don't look at Angela Bassett as being sexy. I look at her as being elegant.
She's fucking sexy.
She is.
I forgot what the
Nah,
last thing I
don't
saw.
look at her. I don't look at her like that. I look
Yeah,
at her as being elegant. She's elegant. to
like
me.
she's too
classy.
classy.
Yeah, I don't look at
she's
her
super
like that.
classy.
But she can still be sexy and classy.
Yeah, I think you got a
Not
little bit
no.
too
We're
much
saying
respect
the way
for the
that
elders.
he's
buddy.
looking at them.
He's saying. Wait, what?
I think you got a little bit too much respect for your elders, buddy.
Oh.
She's still hot. Angela Bassett?
Yeah, she's still
hot.
I
She's still
can't.
pretty.
I don't look at her like that. I don't.
Well,
But I'm the same guy that's never been attracted to Halle Berry. All of the cliche people that people
She's crazy.
drool over. I've never been attracted to them.
you're just going against the grain with that one.
I've never been attracted to her.
Halle Berry is universally hot.
No, it's fine. It makes sense.
I
I'm not
can-
attracted.
I can
I'm not
see
really
how
attracted to
she's-
some of the older
Does that
older
make
guys.
sense? Yeah, like
No, it makes sense. Like there's so many women that like swoon over like Denzel Washington and a few others, and I'm just like, he's good looking, but I'm not like, oh, let me give me a piece
Halle
of
Berry's
that.
above average.
she's definitely above average, but I've never like even Janet Jackson. I've never been a Janet Jackson like, oh my god,
Well, yeah.
she's so bad. I've never been that guy.
To add on to what Erin said, actually, when it comes to like women's taste, there's no fucking bar. We as guys never know what the fuck is gonna be like hot to women. I had this one girlfriend. She said I like guys with scars on their face. I was like $150. She was like, yeah. I was like, the fuck.
You wanted to
fuck
go
is
get
hot
a
about
buck.
that?
You wanted to go
Well,
get a $150.
no, no, no,
What projects was she from?
What project?
He thought about it.
What projects was she
He
from?
thought about it. Look, he's like, let me go shave my face.
I'm gonna go start some shit.
Well,
Come back and be a sex symbol.
to answer your question, it's not a woman's thing. Everyone has specific preferences that are uncommon or not as popularly known, but every woman has a common trait that they all want. They want a guy to be financially stable. They want him to be attractive. They want him, for some, not all, but some, they want him to be okay with being a father and being a good father. So there's certain traits that are universal, but then everyone has their one thing that it's like negotiables and non-negotiables. And her non-negotiable was having a scar.
Yeah.
So
A while back, I actually made a fail-proof scale of how to rate people on a scale from 1 to 10. You know what I'm talking about, Brandon.
I do know what you're talking.
It was fail-proof. I don't think I'm going to unveil it right now. Maybe sometime in the future, but it works every time. And
That
it's
young
accurate.
lady's favorite Kool-Aid was probably red. Just
Who's favorite Kool-Aid?
the young lady who wanted the scar on your face.
It might have been.
Yeah, it was red, 100%. She's
So
definitely.
wait, I want to know what happened though. Did you? What happened with the girl?
Me and her broke up eventually. That was the one I gave the Valentine's Day gift to.
well,
she liked it,
okay.
yeah. I get that.
we broke up shortly after
Yeah.
that.
But I understand why. For obvious reasons.
Wow.
What do you guys think about people using positivity as a marketing ploy?
I think that positivity is kind of like the in thing, especially like with people like Chance the Rapper and a few others. Not saying that he's not genuine about it, but people are seeing the responses that him and some other people who are very positive are getting. And I feel like people are using positivity to try and get attention in a sense.
Is that a bad thing though? Like if people
Depends
put
on what
positivity out
it
there?
depends. It depends your intentions. Anything that has bad intentions, even though on the outside it looks good, anything that has bad intentions is not going to be good.
Well, I think about it, and I think me and you were talking about this. It's almost like when you're too nice or too positive that it comes across weird, or it comes across as if it's disingenuous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Positivity has been completely weaponized.
yeah.
It's been weaponized. You can't even be sad today. You say anything that even sounds sad, people try to write you off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're a part of their meme. Cut everybody who's not positive out of your life.
Well, that's what I think about
Oh,
it.
you mean stuff like that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm here
like-
now.
Yeah. Oh.
It's completely dismissive of people's emotions, man.
So let me explain what's happening, Naz. We're talking about people being positive, but
They're a bunch of
overly
suckers.
positive.
Oh, Nas got lost.
Yeah.
He got lost in the sauce.
Fucking guy, man.
So I think this is the thing. Kind of like going back to what you were saying, Wilson, is we are now like, I saw this on a TED Talk where they're saying how positivity has now, like you said, it's not really become a weapon, but it has become like this facade in a sense where it's just like if you're not superly positive, if you're sad or you're mad or you feel any sorts of emotions, that's looked upon as a negative thing. When in actuality, for someone to acknowledge and to be self-aware of their emotions and feelings actually will show growth and will result in more positive change than if you just ignore all the negative things. Because if you're someone who and then also it's kind of like a situation where it's like you get attacked for feeling a certain way, and they're like, you have to be positive. Now, this person's gonna always hide, whether it's depression, whether it's any sort of feeling that's not positive or happy, they're gonna hide it. So then, how can you address it if people are gonna be constantly going after you?
Yeah. I think positive. I can't even speak with this fucking Invisalign. Positivity is often. Not often, but sometimes I do think it's masked with some sort of anguish that someone is going through. You know what I mean? Like just to try to, and I guess that's the way to deal with it is to try to, pump yourself up and pause and try to, I guess think of things more objectively. But I just feel like some people, like I wonder. And I said this, and it makes no never mind, but Drake's video, the fucking God's Plan, did he do that genuinely to help people, or did he do that just for the sake of adding content to the video?
Why wouldn't he do that in Toronto? That's my only problem with the video.
Wait, that
Yeah,
wasn't.
I thought that was a little weird too. It was like
He was in
LA.
Miami.
I thought that was in Miami.
It was in Miami, but I'm saying
Oh,
if
well, he
I'm
did
from
it.
Toronto
Okay.
and I'm giving out money, like I'm from Mount Vernon, right? Yeah, I pick on Mount Vernon or whatever. But if I'm from
trash.
It is trash.
all right,
You're not gonna get none of that positivity here. Naz.
I'm not looking for it.
Get it?
All right,
Get it nice.
but I'm saying I would do a video. If I was going to do a video like that, I would do it in Mount Vernon. I wouldn't go to fucking LA and give out money.
Yeah.
I would go help out my community.
Yeah, there's always skepticism that comes whenever you're posting yourself doing a good deed online.
Yeah.
There's always, whether you had good intentions or not. I mean, in a way though, it's like it could be good or bad. Like someone like Drake who can influence others to do good deeds, maybe it could be a good thing.
Yeah.
But then also, it goes back to the whole thing where it's like, oh, well, he's doing this for a music video. He's probably doing this for attention. Where do we draw the line with that? Like, you want to do something good off camera, but where do we draw the line where it's like people do it online, maybe to inspire others to do the same? Like, what's the difference between someone genuinely doing it by showing online versus like not being genuine about it?
Well, that's the tough part is having to decipher which one of those acts is genuine and or which one is not genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I know that you're? But I guess at the end of the day, does it matter?
No,
because the act is done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's done. Whatever the outcome it is it's done, and it just you'll receive it however you want to receive it. But I my brain goes left.
sounds like a bunch of participation trophies to me.
I
That's
yeah.
the whole era. This whole everybody's a winner. Come on, even though we lost, we're gonna go get ice cream. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
The thing I hate is it seems like positivity is like the new way for like rich people to brag. It's just the newest way to brag and stunt.
Let me help you poor people out. Show everybody.
I didn't look at it like that.
Yeah, you know. I know that you're going through stuff, but you gotta smile at the end of the day. Fuck you. You got fucking $50 million. I'd be smiling right now if I had $50 million and not this goddamn debt and Uncle Sam on my back.
Well, what about the people in their communities that took the kids to go see Black Panther and they spent money or raised money in order to rent out those spaces to have these kids watch that movie?
I mean, those kids just got a movie. That doesn't change their life.
I don't agree with you. I think having kids able to see someone that looks just like them in a position where there's wealth, there's power, there's influence is always important. Because think about it. There is a time period back, years and years and decades ago where you couldn't even have a doll that's black. Now you can have a doll that's black, that's white, that's Asian, that's Chinese. You can see different people that are in movies. Like, I think it's important for them to find and see people that they can inspire to be.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it's just a movie. And Black Panther wasn't just a movie.
Yeah.
That's one of those movies that was never just a movie.
Yeah. I don't know about all that.
Shut up. You had that 7.5 rating.
You're 7.5 rating.
You out.
It
But
makes no sense.
but I agree with you to a point, to an extent.
Race traitor.
I'm not a racial. I'm gonna say, what about the black and Latino
I
people?
thought you called him Ray Shremmer.
Chill. Come on, man. Come on.
Yo, you do look like Ray Shremmer a little bit.
Both of them.
Sway Lee.
All of them.
Sway Lee, no brains.
But I agree with you to an extent because what about all those black people who made it before us, who didn't have positive images, who didn't have the black dolls? Nothing stopped them. That's what I mean when I say the 13th place trophies. You don't need a pat on the back every time you do something.
Yeah.
If you're going to go do it, just go do it. Don't let nobody stop. You don't need a fucking pat on the back. I don't need to see fucking Dr. Huxtable's out there raping people. So now what?
Do you think that the Black Panther is more of a powerful black figure than Martin Luther King at this point?
You sound like one of them Nimrods that said fucking
saying.
Steve Jobs did more
I'm
for
just
me
saying,
than
I don't see
Bill.
people getting all hyped about Martin Luther King Day the way how they were hyped about Black Panther right now.
You can't even compare.
I think
T'Challa will have a bigger influence on your kid's life than Martin Luther King right now. Sucks,
damn,
but
you got all three of us just like
Yeah, I'm just
Stuck.
looking like.
but that's a lot of American society. That's them regulating African American history to 28 days. My history is American history. Mm-hmm. Now I understand what Morgan Freeman was saying. It was like, I don't need a month. I was here since the inception. I've been here since the beginning. Yeah. My history is your history.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how we should be celebrated. Yeah. But don't want to get too serious.
To kind of go back to what you said before about the people before us that didn't have people that they can look up and inspire to be. I don't think that's true. I think that they did have people, but some of those people might have been behind the scenes, or even people like family. You can inspire to be someone or see someone that's doing something. It doesn't necessarily have to be a job. It can be the work ethic. It can be how they help their community. I think now we're able to see it more on a bigger scale because I hate to say it, but we were now allowed to be in that space. Have we ever really seen directors like Ava or Coogler as black men and women in the space that they are now? No.
Yeah, I looked at Spike.
Well, Spike
kicked in a lot of doors.
Spike, he did, but
Robert Townsend.
Well, Robert Townsend, he was more of the inception. Like, Hollywood Shuffle was one of the first, it was his first movie, but it was one of the movies that kind of set off like sketch comedy in Hollywood. Yeah, so he's like a pioneer.
You got Keenan.
No, but what I'm saying is not in the capacity of being a black director in its whole core, but like getting into an industry that did not really have black directors, like a Marvel, sci-fi in that capacity, not necessarily socially conscious or even considered black films.
No, I understand what you're saying, but all this Black Power and Kumbaya stuff, where was cats when Tyler Perry started his own studio in Atlanta? How come 50 and Sean and P. Diddy not throwing money behind him? He has a studio.
Well, people have certain reservations when it comes to Tyler Perry, though.
I was gonna say
for specific reasons.
I've met Tyler Perry, and he's not the nicest of people. And I'll go on record in saying that. I don't support his movies, nothing. Because meeting him, he wasn't what I envisioned him to be. He's one of those people where he spoke a lot about black people and uplifting. And then when you meet him, his energy was not matching that.
Yeah, and his plays were a lot better than the movies. And people felt that he moved away from the black experience and kind of semi-whitewashed it in a sense for his movies. That's what they felt. I'm not saying I'm saying that, but that's how they felt when he went into more mainstream.
And if I'm keeping it a buck, I come from the cloth of where Dave Chappelle comes from, where I don't want to see a black man dressing up in a dress and then emulating a urban grandmother and then having people laugh at it. Because we're depicted like that all the time. So why do I want?
So you got a problem with Eddie Murphy too?
When he does female characters, yes, I do.
I don't know, man.
I do.
Shout out to Tyler Perry.
Y'all hear that
black,
joke by
live white, think green.
By Paul Mooney, where he said Tyler Perry's actually the character, Medea's the real person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I know why he said that.
Yeah.
I know why he said that.
I think we all know why he said that.
I know why he said that.
I mean, if you think about it, that historically, like what you were saying, like even cartoons spawn back from when, I forget the name of it, but it was when they used to have like the white people would play black people and they would put
minstrel shows.
Minstrels, yeah. It's like certain characters like that, cartoons, they all spawn back from something that's a little more racial based, like the over exaggeration of like a black woman or a black individual.
Yeah. So
I think that's where maybe people felt a certain way, is because of the historical context that's still tied to it. Even though, like, you know, even though it may not be as apparent, there is, I can see why people may get a little upset about that.
Well, speaking of stealing shit, are we rolling with Shia LaBeouf saying that Kanye stole all of his clothes and that's where his inspiration came from for his clothing line?
Shout out to Shia LaBeouf. Cultural appropriation. That's fine.
I mean, he gave some clothes from his Indiana Jones set. Those are not his clothes per se. He didn't pick those clothes. It was a stylist for the movie who picked those clothes. So in a sense, can he really say that's his style if someone else picked it for him?
Well, he had to help out the stylist, right?
No, they do all of it.
No. He had to say, yes, I like it, or no, I don't.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
For a movie, no, you're gonna wear whatever they give you.
Nah, man.
I thought he was dropping a mixtape too. Whatever happened to that?
Well, he did that like
Somebody who cared
live
about
stream, that 24-hour live stream or something.
Oh yeah, when he was protesting.
Also the movie one too.
Yeah.
Somebody who cared about Charlotte stopped him from dropping that mixtape. Thank you.
I thought this was interesting too, and this is like a surprise topic because I didn't tell you guys because I wanted to see what you guys thought about it.
Shia? Are we still on Shia or are we moving on?
Yeah, we're moving on.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
bye,
washed.
Shia.
Goodbye.
Yeah, bye. Bye, Shia. Yeah, we just to clarify, we're not rolling with Shia LaBeouf. Fuck out of here. But so Amber Rose criticizes the Me Too movement and says that now all of a sudden feminism is now a mainstream thing. And I'm assuming she's comparing this to her slut walk.
Oh my God.
How do we feel about this?
It's not the same.
Oh, and so what is she saying? Is she saying like they're kind of weaponizing it now?
Yeah,
Like kind of how we talk about positivity?
in a sense, yeah. Look at Wilson's face.
No, because I'm trying to think of.
That old dusty ass
feel about
beer
that.
is kicking in.
Here's good.
I think this is something we gotta tread lightly with.
I'm not treading lightly.
Not at all.
No, you need to tread a little lightly, please.
All right.
I think there is some truth to that. I think, there have been individuals that have called out for sexual abuse and abuse, especially within Hollywood and entertainment industry, and it's gone unnoticed until recently with this Me Too campaign. Now, that's kind of a situation where it's like, okay, but is that really bad? Though, because it's like now it's actually being addressed, but I do understand what she's trying to say. But it's like it's kind of hard. I don't know. This is like a slippery.
This ain't a slippery slope. Let me keep it a buck. I think that the only reason I think that maybe her movement, and I don't know, or maybe she's comparing the two. I really just think it's the name slut walk. That's why I think if you remove slut walk and then turn it into something else, I think that movement really aligns with the Me Too movement.
What if she put no in front of it, like no slut walk?
Well, here goes
Like
the problem.
not a slut or something like that.
Something like that.
Here goes the problem with the slut walk. It's almost trying to erase the existence of sluts. They do exist. We do all know that, right? Like, there is behavior that is
consistent with being a whore.
could be categorized as something. Happens to be slut. Now, I think that a lot of females get called sluts when they're not sluts. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see it all the time.
Yeah.
But there are actual sluts out there, like real sluts.
So what's the difference though between what you say there are women that are sluts versus those who are just promiscuous, maybe privately promiscuous?
A woman that damn. Okay.
Because we all go through our whole moments. Let's keep it real. We all go through our whole moments.
Black China is a slut.
She has no decorum.
She's a slut. She had another man wearing her man's bathrobe.
That's disrespectful.
Her baby father's bathrobe. While she cheated on him, she's a slut.
I don't think you're convincing
And she
yet,
was
though.
at the slut walk walking. I'm sorry. We're not going to wash away your sins. You're not getting baptized at this fucking parade. You're a slut.
You're not getting baptized at the parade.
They exist.
But could they change? Could a slut change?
Absolutely.
So
I
then,
think so.
when does it get to a point where you stop calling that woman slut? But I'm still trying. I want you to distinguish the difference though between someone that you consider as a quote unquote slut and someone who is just promiscuous, but not promiscuous in a way where it's like 365 days. Like I said, we all have our periods of moments. Like every single person, if they say they haven't, they're lying. We've all had our moments where we've had several one-night stands or had a period of time where like get out of a breakup. We're like, you know what? I just want to fuck around. So like, what's the difference then?
Hold on.
Wow, you're not just gonna breathe.
Yeah, you're not gonna just
over
skate
several
over
one night
one night stands.
Yeah, several can be two.
You're a slick one.
Yeah,
Mr.
several
Grinch.
is just more than one.
You're a slick one,
All
Mr.
right.
Grinch.
I see what you did there.
No, but you're okay. So
It's fine.
you've had one.
It's fine.
You've had one night stand your
I don't
entire
want
life.
beef. I don't want it.
Entire life.
I think it's a level of decorum, no? A level of respectability.
I would never call a girl a slut just for having sex. Like,
No.
if she's having sex with a bunch of dudes and she owns it, cool. That's fine.
I don't care about that. I really don't. I think it's the manner and how you conduct yourself
I think that's what I've been saying.
will kind of dictate. Yeah.
No one cares about you. Just kidding.
Oh my. No. It's cool. Go ahead.
He's like, I said that
I
first.
would never shame a woman for what a man does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
But sometimes there's a difference. Like, I feel like there's a difference from when women cheat from when men cheat. Let me explain.
I never said
Let me
anything.
explain.
I'm listening.
When a man cheats, you know, he's normally going to get put on blast by the woman that he's cheating with or whatever, right? When a woman cheats, rarely will a man put her on blast. So she has help cheating. And it's also easier for a woman to cheat. Erin, you could walk outside right now and ask 10 guys to have sex with you. I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I would bet the house that all 10 of them niggas are gonna agree and want to do it. I walk outside and I ask 10 women,
You
guess what?
different, though.
I'm going to fucking jail.
you're a sex offender.
I'm a goddamn sex offender.
It's
On
true.
top of that, like, we gotta work hard for it.
I don't know. It's different though, because if you were like Idris Elba or something, you would get all 10.
See?
But you're not though.
But you're not.
There
Sorry.
goes that.
You're Wilson, so.
There goes that.
I'm just saying, there's certain men.
And even Idris Elba, those women would still require probably three dates from this nigga.
Nah.
Before they even get
No,
up.
nope.
You think he's
nope.
walking up to Ivanka
Oh,
Trump?
come on.
I think so.
No, without
Ivanka-
the name, just a
Ivanka-
nigga that looks like Idris Elba.
Yo, didn't
Damn.
someone date
He's getting
Ivanka?
turned
We're
down
like,
by at least
No.
5.
Yeah, like
Quincy
keeping it-
Jones did not date Ivanka Trump. He's old and delusional. So.
you don't know.
There's certain people, and y'all can. There's certain people that have that.
Je ne sais quoi.
That shit with them. Idris Elba is one of those.
He's walking
people.
up to Ivanka Trump.
It's the same way.
Why are you
Rihanna-
so like into Ivanka
Yeah, I
Trump? There's
don't know.
other people except
just-
from Ivanka Trump.
Yeah.
Because you said any 10.
First of all, you can't even walk up to Ivanka Trump.
Did you call Rihanna a 10?
What?
What?
Okay, no, I thought
No,
you
we're
called
talking about
Rihanna a
Ivanka
10.
Trump.
Yeah, no.
right.
But listen to what I'm saying. There's certain people
What?
that have.
She's a
that-
7 in my book. I'm sorry. I just
Listen,
Go ahead.
would y'all shut the fuck up. Listen, damn. There's certain people that have that. I call it the glow.
Okay.
Bruce
There's
Lee
certain
way
people
over
that have it.
He's right.
From a man perspective, and this is just me obviously observing Michael B. Jordan, Idris Elba, and what's the other guy? I don't know. Let's just leave it at 2. For women, it's Rihanna and Erykah Badu that have
Badu,
that
yes.
that shit. It's something that's
aura that attracts
something.
people.
It's something.
How
that-
old is Erykah Badu? 50?
48, I think.
40.
gotta
She's
be
high
at
40s, I think.
47,
47, something like that. Yeah. But I say that because
Love
I
her.
think that there are certain people that can walk out and do that.
Yeah. Men
Idris-
and both women.
And women too. That's why I name women. But Idris Elba has walked out and done that. There's been numerous reports of him just doing whatever, and it just happens.
I think that if you minus Idris Elba's name and his accent, he's an average man walking down. He walks up to 10 women and asks them to have sex
Well,
with
no,
him.
I
He's
don't-
going to fucking jail.
It's when he's talking about the aura though, it's not about your accent. It's just certain
Yeah.
people just have it.
just something else.
It's just something. It's just something with them that attracts people
superpower.
naturally. There are people out there, there's even regular men and regular women that just have that it factor
Yeah.
that just attracts any person that they come up to.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. I've seen it multiple times. And I've seen it with not big industry people. I've seen it with smaller people who just have it and they just get whoever guy or whoever girl they want. They just have it. I don't know what else to say.
It's really the truth.
All right.
That's all it took to convince him.
I didn't say I was convinced, but
I mean, it's just the kind of the same way where it's like there's certain people out there in the world that are just naturally super smart who have high IQs. They were just born that way. They just had it. It wasn't like they earned it. They just had it. There's certain people that just have certain qualities and traits that it just comes natural to them.
yeah, but even when it comes down to it, like, let's say a really, really good-looking man is still going to have a harder time, or it's going to take longer for him to have sex with a woman than it would for an average female to have sex with a man.
I agree with that.
We just we have to work harder.
I agree with
for
that.
it. Is all I'm saying.
I do.
So
And the
that's
only
why when you
reason-
guys cheat, it's just like, yo, you could have just got out the relationship and had sex with everybody you fucking wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then also you have to look at why men and why women cheat. Women can cheat more because of an emotional disconnect, or they feel a certain way with the relationship.
All the more reason for them to get out of it and just go do something else. Because you guys don't have to be the aggressors. You guys are the gatekeepers. You guys control whether sex is going down or it's not.
It's true.
Well,
You guys have all the power.
unless we're forced to, which
I
is
am
a whole
preaching.
other conversation.
Wait, what is?
You saying that we are the gatekeepers, we have the power. I said, yeah, unless we are forced to do things we don't want to do,
No, we're
which
not talking
happens.
about
We're not talking about that. We
Yeah.
talk-
No,
yeah.
but
Yeah, rape is rape.
listen, I don't like general statements, so I'm gonna add that
And
in.
if we're going back to feminism, how come it never goes the other way? There's men getting raped in court every day for child support. Women never call for equality when it's in their direction, ever. I've seen dudes get raped
I know a few people.
That's what a
in
T.
child support court. Raped. One of my friends has his kid 50% of the time during a week, but he has to pay child support. How's that even make sense?
Where's the equality? Easy.
But
Well,
she's
it
gonna take
depends.
his money.
Well, I
just
can't.
mosey off.
I can't talk about the court stuff because legally, what we may think is logic in life is not always as simple as it is when it comes to legal matters.
I was about to
like
say,
it's
when you
it's
talk
not always
about
that
legal
simple.
matters-
Well, Khalees
like,
is getting 25
we're not
G's
lawyers,
from
so I'm
that.
not gonna sit here and say like, oh yeah, he should like no because there's.
$25,000 a month for
He's talking
Khalees?
about-
But think about it too.
Nas.
Even each state has its different
The real
laws
Nas,
compared
not
to
this
even
Nas.
national law. So you can't really. And I'm definitely not gonna. I mean, I'm a kid who's had a parent who did not pay child support, so I know how that shit like goes down and sucks. But never once have I said like, oh, if a woman fucked up in the relationship and the father's trying to take the kid, I'm not saying that he has to pay a whole lot of child support. Never have I ever said that.
Let me give you a personal experience.
You're giving me things as if you think that I'm going to disagree with you, and usually if they're logical, I'll be like, yes.
Well, you tell me if this makes sense.
I'm waiting.
I'm a bastard, okay?
Well, we know
my,
that.
my father, I think he was paying something light, like $75 or something like a month for like
Damn,
child
that's
support.
balling.
For like a month for like child support, right? He marries this woman. He marries this woman. She has 2 kids. Guess what happened to my child support? Chopped in 3s. Those weren't even his kids. They made him pay child support on kids that weren't even his.
What?
Yeah, I heard stories like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was possible.
yeah, 100% possible.
I mean, but that also goes back to the
That's the court system.
the complexity of marriage. When you marry, you become one by
Financially.
law.
Yeah, financially.
Too. So
why
that's
you gotta-
another thing
That's why you
too.
gotta sign a prenup. You
Yeah,
gotta sign a prenup.
or you guys could be what's that new thing? It's like you can be recognized as partners, but you're not like legally married. What is that thing?
Whatever it is.
That's,
I forget. What's it called?
Fuck, that's gonna bother me now.
Because it's gay and lesbian couples used to do that before it became legal to become married to be
What, a
recognized.
partnership?
It's like you
when
had
live
certain.
together for like 7
It's like you
years.
live together. You get certain
Oh,
rights because you're
common law?
identified.
Common law.
Common law?
Something like that.
I don't know.
But yeah, but that just goes back to the law of being married. When you become married, you are by law like one entity. You guys, that's why it's expensive to be married. You together are one.
But for a man to have to pay child support for
I'm
kids
not saying that it's
nowadays-
right, but I'm just saying if he is by law married, that changes the ball game. By law, it changes the ball game. If he was separate, he didn't have to. But by law, when you marry someone, you are one.
That's true.
So
It's a bad contract, man.
Terrible.
That's
So
terrible.
that's what I'm saying. When it comes to law,
It's a bad boy
it
contract.
gets sometimes it gets complex.
I think everything is complex with that. I guess for the listeners, viewers, tell us your thoughts on this last topic. Is it fair for a man to have to pay for another man's children if he did not bear them, but legally they're
His,
his?
in a sense.
Yeah. And also, let us know in the comments if you niggas is taking your fucking socks off during sex.
Definitely.
I need a poll on that.
I need a poll on it. I do.
Oh, we're gonna do a poll.
We can do a poll on that?
We're on Twitter. Yep.
Yeah.
We're definitely doing a poll.
Definitely. As always, Grassroots Podcast on Twitter, Grassroots Podcast on Instagram.
Pod.
Grassroots Pod, sorry. On Instagram and Twitter. Grassroots Pod on YouTube and GroupMe chat. Again, we always talk about the GroupMe chat. It'll be in the description of this video below, so you guys can join and talk about some real life shit with us pretty much 24 hours a day. I think that's it.
I'm out.
That was like the worst.
Wrap it up.
Oh my gosh.
That was like the worst.
Well, it's a good thing Nas didn't knock our socks off with that with that outro right there.
Oh my gosh.
Wilson up on the board, man. -1.
I appreciate
Put him on the
his
Put him on the board.
Anyway, I'm Erin Ashley Simon.
Brandon Killabh, y'all. You listen to Grassroots Podcast with our guest Wilson and Nas, your whip. We out.
Hey.
Peace.